Hey guys, Ben here with If Nutrition, and in today's video we're going to be going through and discussing how to lose weight by cutting calories. So before we get into the video, I'd love to know, what is your strategy for weight loss, or don't you have one yet? Let me know in the comments below and let's get into the video. So now the most effective way to do this is just to cut back on the calories in which we're consuming. And if we do this enough, we end up putting our body back into a deficit, which means that our body is having to then pull energy from our fat stores, which uses our fat as a fuel, which then means that we're basically going to be losing weight because the body is not consuming enough calories to meet the energy demands on a daily basis. So basically it just has to tap into the fat stores, and that's how we lose weight. Now, a lot of people get this round the other way, and instead of cutting back on the calories they're consuming, they just kind of step up the cardio in which they're doing and then look at their weight loss journey, realize they're not losing the weight they want to, and then look at it, kind of think that it's all broken, and they just give up on it. The problem is when people are using exercise as a way of burning calories in order to lose weight, rather than just cutting back on the calories that they consume, they massively overestimate the amount of calories burnt by exercise. And the bottom line is, unless you're doing quite a lot of exercise, you're not going to be burning that many calories through exercise alone. So the easiest way to do this is by using a calorie calculator, and I will link one in the description below that you can use for free. And it will basically take your details, you will then set your goal as to lose weight, and it will basically calculate your maintenance calories. It will then deduct some calories away from your maintenance calories, and this will then put you in a calorie deficit. You can then use something like MyFitnessPal. You can put the calories in, track the foods that you're eating, and make sure that you are sticking to that calorie deficit. And if you do, you will lose weight. Now, some people don't like to calculate calories, they don't like to track calories. So how do you lose weight if you don't want to track calories and you don't want to work them out, calculate them? Now, this isn't as easy, but if you are in a slight surplus, so say your weight has been pretty stable, but you're not really the weight that you want to lose some weight, you know that you need to dial back on the calories that you're eating on a daily / weekly basis. Now, another way to do this, rather than having to calculate all of those calories out, is just by simply removing a meal from that. So it might be that you aren't really that fussed with breakfast, so you drop breakfast totally and you start going on to more of an intermittent fasting protocol. So you basically have your lunch and your dinner. You might have a snack in between, but then you don't eat anything from between your last meal of the day and then lunch. So you're basically just skipping out breakfast. What this will do is remove a meal from your diet. It will also remove all of the calories attached to that meal, which means that you will most likely be putting yourself in a nice calorie deficit. And what you'll find is, even without counting or tracking any calories, you are going to start losing weight. Now, on the other hand, if you are sat there thinking, well, I don't want to cut out breakfast and I like my lunch and I like my dinner, then you can also look at other things. Look at the sugary drinks that you're consuming. Can you cut those out? Look at what snacks you're snacking on throughout the day. Now, most people just look at this and think, well, it's only the odd biscuit here and there, it's not going to make a big difference. But the truth is, it really, really can. If you look at, say, Jammy Dodgers, for example, I think there's something like about 70 calories a Jammy Dodger, and there is no one on this planet that is just eating one of them bad boys. You're going to be having at least 2 or 3. Now, you look at most people, if they're having a cup of tea in the morning, they're having a few biscuits with it. Look at the amount of calories that are just consumed within those few biscuits, probably more like half a packet of biscuits. But if you look at the calories attached to that and think that that's being done on a daily basis, just do the maths and work that out over a week and look at how many extra calories there are in there. Now, 1 pound of fat is equal to about 3,500 calories. So it doesn't really take a lot to kind of withdraw that amount of calories from your diet within a week, especially if you are overeating. And just by doing that, you can set yourself on course to drop a pound a week moving forward, which for most people would see them in a month or 2 dropping quite a bit of weight and being quite happy with the results, all for dropping out a few snacks here and there or a breakfast. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but ultimately you're either going to be tracking calories You're going to calculate your deficit. You're going to work out how many calories that is. You're going to track it using MyFitnessPal, and that can be one method. Method number two is you can just drop a meal out of your current eating schedule within a day, or drop the snacks. Do something else within that day to drop those calories out, even though you're not calculating them all. Or alternatively, you can do it the hard way, which is you can keep your eating just the same, but you're really gonna have to ramp up your exercise here. But another thing that you can also look at is resistance training. Most people overlook this for weight loss, but actually muscle burns more calories than fat, so it makes more sense for you to be working on and building your muscle, because this is gonna help you long-term lose weight. So there's a few strategies there if you are looking to lose weight that you can utilize. My favorites are probably the working out the calories and then tracking them through, but that's because I like the numbers. But if you are ease of use, you don't want to have to work all of that out, just try dropping out a breakfast for a while, or dropping out a few of your kind of calorie dense snacks, and look and chart your weight loss over the course of a week or two, and I think you'd be quite surprised by how much you can lose just by doing this. So as always, I hope you found that video useful. If you have, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more video content just like this, and I will see you in the next video.